Well, continuing with our focus on the Western Cape in the run-up to the local government elections, let's have a look at service delivery issues in the province, joined now by Nokuzola Kolwapi from the Ikhwezi Political Movement, Ganief Hendricks from the Jama-Ah party, and Thulani Stemele for the Good Party in Cape Town. Good evening to all three of you, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. If I may start with you, Thulani Stemele from the Good Party. Your leader, Patricia de Lille, also sits in the National Cabinet. Do you believe voters still want to vote for her and still want to vote for your party when the leader's essentially in coalition with the ANC?
That's a black lie. We're not in collusion. Patricia de Lille is the leader, and she has been building the constitution of this country. She is on the principle for people to change people's lives. So, collusion with the ANC, she's a member of Good. As you can see, her for the Good movement, and also what we stand for as a party.
Let me come to you, Nokuzola Kolwapi. You're the president of the Ikhwezi Political Movement. Let's talk about your approach to this election and part of the message that you are sending out to voters in Cape Town.
Good evening, everybody, all listeners of South Africa. And I would love to dedicate this viewing today to all the children of South Africa, because I've picked up that the kids of the family, they were so busy to see me online. So special greetings to them all that they are watching me today. Yes, our organization, it's mainly in the garden route, Bito local municipality, and also for the district in our greater district of the garden route. And our approach of our organization, it was that we are unapologetic for women to lead, to take their space in politics, not just in politics down there, to be the volunteers and to be the door-to-door keepers, but mainly to occupy leading position in government. That's our approach as Ikhwezi Political Movement.
And what do you find are the challenges that the people in the garden route are experiencing when it comes to service delivery?
One of the things that people are experiencing is to be denied their service through the delay. Because when the service is being delayed, is the service denied. So you'll find that most of the time people are uprising, closing the N2s, the main roads, doing all things, burning things, because they find that their service is the attention that they do in order their local municipalities can give them a service so that they can attend to all the promised service. For us as Ikhwezi, we are saying, we are here to say we'll promise people that the services that will be delivered on time. And also we are able to enable for people to be to create a platform where people will be enabled, so that we create resilient and also platforms where people will be resilient and also self-sustaining. That's what we're here for.
Ganief Hendricks from the Jama-Ah party, what are you offering voters in the Western Cape? What do you believe you will do that's different to the other parties?
Thank you very much. For the Western Cape, largely the city of Cape Town, Drakenstein, Stellenbosch, where we are contesting. We feel that smaller parties like ourselves have a very important role to play. We've heard that the ANC and the DA is going to form a very strong coalition, and that is what the African peer review mechanism warned against, that would be the greatest threat to the democracy when the bigger parties gang up and there are no other parties there. Look, the main issues is obviously sewage pollution, which is worse than climate change. Many areas of Cape Town, over 350 informal settled areas, the coloured townships, they all stink because the DA doesn't have a plan to deal with sewage. It's all over the place. The African child lives in sewerage, eats in sewerage, prays in sewerage. And Jama-Ah has taken the lead to deal with this. Every time that we get an award against the city of Cape Town by the Director of Environmental Enforcement, the MEC, the DA takes on appeal, and the MEC, was a DA person, make sure that the determinations of the Director of Environmental Enforcement is overturned. We've then tried the Public Protector, we've tried the Human Rights Commission, and we've had some success there, and there's improvement, much more improvement needs to be done. The city of Cape Town is the drunk capital of the world. The DA, I served on the appeals committee when I was a councillor, and we find that the DA, they extend alcohol trading hours far beyond the national norms. And this is an attempt, you know, during apartheid we had a DOP system, and now we have a situation where the DA goes out of his way so that alcohol trading goes up to 20 hours a day. So certainly we don't want to make Cape Town the drunk capital of the world, and to change that. Then the last important thing is that most of the looting in all the municipalities happens in the city of Cape Town, where they use consultants. The work of the consultants, there's no oversight. It is just the CEO. And then later on you find that the CEO resigns from the city of Cape Town and takes up a job with one of the consultants, like it happened very recently, and gets shareholding. So we find that the Treasury feels that 30% of the income must be spent on salaries. The city already spends 35%, and then another 25% goes to consultants, and it's unnoticed. So most of the looting takes place. You find the consultants charge 3 times per hour than what they should charge, although they are statutory rates. And then everyone takes their cut, and
Mr.
then
Hendricks,
also the DA takes their cut as well.
All right, Mr. Hendricks, I mean, you've spoken at quite some length, and you've made very strong claims. The Auditor General has not found anything that bolsters the claims that you've made.
Well, there has been in the media quite a lot of activists who have identified it. And I said earlier on, there is no oversight when it comes to the rates that consultants charge. And that is why they get these clean audits, because there is no oversight and there is no reporting.
Okay.
And
all right, Mr. Hendricks. Mr. Hendricks, we're just going to let your line just sort itself out there and catch up with us. I do apologize. I don't want to interrupt you, but I think for technical reasons we must. Thulani Stemele from the Good Party. Obviously, I mean, we realize that the Good Party has also been very critical of the DA administration in the city of Cape Town. What do you believe your party would be able to do differently?
Let's look at where we find ourselves, Stephen, in terms of the tariffs. You know, it became much more of a contagious issue in the city of Cape Town, where we are well aware of the pandemic, which is the COVID-19, which has swapped most people's jobs. So most people, their income now, they might be not sufficient enough. So we find ourselves where people in the city of Cape Town are paying high amounts of rates and tariffs. If you go to your Mitchell's Plain, to your Khayelitsha, you see people sitting with bills of 16,000. So what does it tell you? That the situation, the DA is making very clear that he wants to squeeze the consumers. And you can see they do not take care of its own people. My colleague just said, now, if you go, the sewer is all over in the city of Cape Town. Wherever you drive, you get, they tell you in the terms of the city of Cape Town, your best run city. Actually, your best run city is your Clement, it's your Bentry Bay, it's your Constantia. When you go further to your Bontiville, your Hayterveld, our people are sitting in an environment where one should not be living in. So what we're saying that there is 19 billion rent in their bank account from the profits that they've made from the people. That money can be utilized in order to render these services for our people. It can be done, Stephen, this mechanism, but the problem with the city of Cape Town, if you notice, the engineers have left the city of Cape Town, are able to do the jobs because positions are not being advertised. People are sitting on contracts. When I was a deputy chairperson at Cooperative Services in the city of Cape Town, One of the things under the leadership of Patricia de Lille when she was the mayor, she would make sure that all these vacant positions are being filled so that delivery can be key to our communities.
All right, Thulani, I'm going to pause you there and allow Mam Nokuzola to also come in. You've raised the issue, you would have heard Thulani raise the issue of spatial planning ultimately in Cape Town and where services go and where they don't go. You have a lot of organizations, particularly that want to address the issue, that are speaking about the decommodification of development. So basically allowing the same amount of resources that would go to servicing a suburban area to go towards a township or even an informal settlement. Do you think that that's something that your party would be able to do?
If we can refer to our manifesto where we're talking about that us as IPM want to be inclusive instead of being segregated. And if you can remember, 2 weeks ago, I was IPM, we are very much for the integration of the areas of the communities, because that's exactly what makes us now to have these racial indifferences, because other people are staying on the other side and the others are not staying on the other side, and that alone, it promotes the element of race, of which when we can be together, bringing the communities together, exchanging our cultures, exchanging our knowledge and our experiences, that alone, it will make us to be integrated enough. Then this whole thing of this human poverty, where people, they think that they are better when they are this color, better when they are this color, or when they are having money, others not money. Those things will be the ills of the society that the integration will address. So us as the IPM, we always believe that since Garden Route, in fact, the whole province is more of tourism province, we believe that immediately when we start even to take tourism to township and the suburbs, it will make even more integration and makes us to be more understanding each other instead of the others are just pulling for themselves. So from our manifesto, we believe that the main thing is to strengthen the accountability and the prudence, and so that the service delivery can make that we should not come to a point of saying those are better off than the others, those are not better off than the others. We've got even the problems here in Plate, where you visit areas like Craigs, like Kolweni, you still find people that they are sharing one toilet, they are sharing the gap tap, and of which you can find that immediately that the fact that the services are not equal, they are not the same, it makes people to feel that they are not important like the others. It's the main thing that brings the inequality to the people. So for us as the IPM in our manifesto, we believe those are the things that will address the service delivery to bring that whole differences that we see in our communities and make people to stay and close the gap of all these townships versus suburbs versus town.
All right, Nokuzola Kolwapi, President of the Ikhwezi Political Movement. We'll have to leave it there. Ganief Hendricks is President of the Jama-Ah Party, and Thulani Stemele is with the Good Party, and he's the Cape Town ward candidate.